Okay, I gotta get this out of the way real quick. First off, I would like to thank everyone who watched my video, and thanks to those who cried in the comments, as you guys finally got me enough watch hours to be monetized. So thank you. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, now on to what I'm actually going to talk about. This video is following up the recent pot video that I did, and I really want to just go into more detail of why I'm losing respect for the game, because really I only talked about my problem with the update and with Rex in general, so yeah, because there's a lot more that I need to talk about other than just the shitty update they put out. So I'll be going over a lot of material in this video, and if you don't have the attention span and just want to go in the comments and tell me how I'm a pot hater and I'm a fucking moron, then go do it, honestly. Nerd emoji. Me and some buddies of mine one day actually dug into the comments one day because we were just curious. I'm sorry, over the 500 plus comments that you crybabies wanted to put in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some base people in the comments. In the middle, you had people that were hardcore agreeing with me and validating everything that I said. At the same time, you had people write whole college essays that felt like you were reading a biology textbook. But I'm sorry, who's going to take their time to read all of that? Who's gonna see this? Who's gonna read all that? Yeah, I've read every comment because it's been a constant cycle of working out and resting this summer. So, yeah, I read the 500 comments. Correction, I didn't read any essays that y'all put in the comments. Y'all really think I'm gonna waste my time reading that shit? Anyways, having to read the other comments were just as cringe as well. I mean, look at this shit. That shit was painful to read. If you're gonna whine and moan in the comments, at least fact check what you're saying. It's funny because the only two dinosaurs I mentioned in my video were Spinosaurus and T-Rex. So I don't know where you're getting Spinosaurus from, but anyways. You know, speaking of being shit on, that's what a lot of people were telling me in the comments that I was shitting on the game when it's called voicing your opinion and voicing your correct and based opinion. I was simply saying my current problem with the game and then people try to shit on me for it. I mean, of course I'm not gonna take it to heart. They're pot stands. Why would I listen to anything they have to say? All the community is just stands and people that are just extremely easy to please. And the second that anyone goes against their opinion, they lash out, defending the game in any possible way they can. You know, your classic, it's an MMO and it's early access type shit. And it's honestly quite sad because the more hate that the community puts out, it just looks even worse in the community itself. And it also sucks because I followed this game for such a long time, longer than any pot player's even been alive for. And that's why I laughed at all y'all's comments, because they were just so dumb, because they are trying to defend this game when really it's just going downhill, and the only reason why I would play this is because it gets me views. That is the only reason. If you're telling me I'm doing such a terrible job on shitting on this game, then I can help you with that. Alright, now that we got the better gameplay in the background, let's get on with the video. This also brings up another point, the Isle. And in my last video, or my why I'm losing respect for pathoftitans video, there was a shit ton of comments saying, Isle is worse than pot, and stuff like that. And I've heard this in the pot community several times, saying that, hey, let's stop comparing pathoftitans to Isle, because pathoftitans is trying to do something different. Okay then, if they're trying to do that, then why won't all the stands follow up on that, and not say that Isle is worse than pot, and to stop comparing the two. The reason why Isle was also brought up in the comments of my video was because of the Hope trailer. The pot nerds were saying, oh, well, Isle released their Hope trailer that showed a bunch of mechanics that weren't in the game yet. But the thing is, that wasn't a launch trailer. That was a trailer called Hope, as in, this game has hope for the future. And it wasn't titled launch trailer either. Even in the description of the Hope trailer, the description said ongoing development. I mean, it's obvious that these two games have been competing for each other, even though the pathoftitans, the community, or the devs said that they're not. It's obvious that they are. And going back to the trailer part, a lot of games will say this is cinematic only, or the title will be this is the cinematic trailer. But this isn't one of the big issues that I have with the game. The main issue I have with the game is growth, and the devs have already confirmed that they're not changing it, so there's that. The only reason that I can see myself playing pot is going on a community server with decent growth. That's if you could even get on a community server, because most of them are full, because the best way to play the game is going on community servers where the growth is actually pretty okay. I will give them this. I like how they're doing something different with growth, but at the same time, it feels like a chore. There's not really too much I can really talk about with growth other than that it just sucks in general. I like how they're doing something different, but it's poorly executed, and the tasks are just very repetitive, and a lot of them just aren't unique. Most of them are just picking up things, which is slightly okay, but there's only a certain amount of quests that you can do, and it's very minimal on the things that you're able to do, which is picking up shit, delivering shit. It gets repetitive, and maybe if they added more quests, it would be slightly more fun, but what they're currently doing isn't helping the game at all. I know I just said the growth stuff is repetitive and boring and all that, but like I just can't nail it enough on how repetitive it is. That's the third time I've said it, but still, there is nothing else I can really say about growth other than what I've already just said, and that the devs aren't going to fix it or work on it at all, since they said that's how they want growth to be. So there's no fixing it. So if you want to play the game, go on a community server. Don't even waste your time on officials. It's a hellhole. It's just a bunch of care bearing, mix packing, all of that, and you're gonna have a hard time just trying to get quests done. I wouldn't say the mix packing and care bearing is a really huge problem. I mean, it is a problem. I don't know if it really exists anymore, although yesterday I was playing just to see what officials were like still, and I saw an TEUTONIC care bearing a T-Rex, like it was just taking care of it, and whenever I tried to attack the T-Rex, I was playing Aloe at the time, it just charged at me and tried to kill me, so I don't know. So just stay away from officials. I'm sure I know some good community servers. I will link them in the description if y'all want to really actually try to play the game. There are a good few, and I will list those. But another problem I have with this game is not just lag, but also the combat lag. And whenever you're trying to fight someone, everything just bugs out, and you're just flying everywhere. I wouldn't say flying, but you're just kind of like going everywhere, except for the person you're actually trying to attack. And to go with that, it's also the hitboxes and the collision that the game has, where you just get stuck on people and you die. Especially with TEUTONIC, you can get stuck on its hitbox, and all it has to do is turn around and hit you with its head, and you're dead. And it sucks because both combat and growth are two vital things to a dinosaur survival game, or just pathoftitans in general, and they're both poorly executed. And when I mean poorly executed, I don't just mean that the messed up collision and the combat lag is a problem. It's not just that. It's also the abilities that the dinosaurs have. A lot of them are reused, like the wind-up attacks. And don't get me wrong, I think that's an excellent ability. I think that's something unique, but it's on almost every dinosaur. And don't get me wrong, there are some unique abilities that some of the dinosaurs have. It's just that another problem is that almost every dinosaur has a tail attack. Obviously, some dinosaurs should be able to defend themselves with their tail, like Stegosaurus, which is an obvious one. But things like TEUTONIC and Concavinator, Metri, and Megalania just no, they don't deserve a tail attack. It's just they wouldn't be using their tail to defend themselves, especially with how they're supposed to be played out. The reason why they want tail attacks for their creatures is so they can stop ass riding, but at the same time they have precise movement. All it takes is for you to turn around and bite whatever is attacking you. And if anything, they should replace the tail attacks on certain creatures with stomps or kicks. I would like to see that a lot more than just tail attacks. It would be more unique, and it would actually be more acceptable. This is also why I absolutely adore what Primordial Tyrants is doing with their mods. Primordial Tyrants puts a lot of mods out for pathoftitans, and each mod is just amazing. The Giga mod, Utah, Dilo, and their soon-to-be Theory mod. They're all just amazingly executed. They all have special abilities. They're all unique. They all have... I can't give it enough praise. It's just they're doing so well for the game, and if it wasn't for them, I'm sure that this game would be a lot more worse, because they've really helped in the community server aspect. And adding on to that, they've made every dinosaur feel unique and feel different whenever you're playing it. I actually put something out on my community tab about that, and a lot of people agreed that Primordial Tyrants is actually doing something well for the game. And wrapping up this video, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of sad how low that this game has stooped, because I have been following this game for ages, and I have been following it longer than I've been making content on it, and I have a lot of good memories playing this game. I've met a lot of amazing people through this game, and it sucks that this is how it is now. Pathoftitans really kicked off my channel in the very beginning, and it's now kind of just sitting here just like me making videos about how I don't really like the game. I will say playing with friends does make it more fun, but if you're playing by yourself, it can get very boring very quickly, because you are doing quests over and over again, and if you have really no one to talk to while playing, in summary, the game can become very boring very quickly if you really have no one to talk to, or really no one to play with. Again, it sucks that this is all happening to this game that we all used to love at some point, but at the same time, just the actions that the devs have chosen and the community itself has kind of just lowered my opinion on the game and how I feel about the game. Although I do want to see what Pot has for the future. I will say I think that the next couple of big updates will be the deciding factor whether I continue with this game or not. I don't want to quit pathoftitans right now because I just have so much history with it, but if more stuff comes up and a lot more just poorly executed updates come out, then I don't know. I think I might just be done with the game. I'm not sure exactly. I think for me right now, it's just very early for me to tell. But I think for the time being, I'll make update videos, like if there's a new mod out. Obviously, if there's a new update out, I'll cover it, play it, do a live stream on it. But I'm not going to be doing actual whole videos. The only whole videos, like 10-minute videos that I think I could be doing for the game is just old clips I have of me and my friends just messing around. That's probably it. And since I'm at my 10-minute mark, I think this is where I should end the video and collect my payment that if anyone wants to cry in the comments, I won't care because you're giving me money by watching this video. What the hell is this pot coin bullshit though?